I got into creating music when I was about 20, I'd say. I never looked at the possibility of ever creating music because I was always a DJ first and foremost. And then just one day, like, it did sort of occur to me, like, how are these records even being put together? Like, I had no idea. So I joined the Access to Music course and studied for like 2 years. Which some of it was in DJing, some of it was in the actual music business side of it, and a lot of it was in production. And it was from there, really, from the teachers on the course, which I picked up practically like everything that I know, all the tips, all the tricks, just some amazing eye-openers that I would, if I was sitting at home trying to make music on my own, I wouldn't even be where I am right now. It's so important to have, you know, that one-to-one interaction with a tutor or, you know, a mentor, because you can watch tutorials on the internet and you can, you know, follow guides online, but at the end of the day there will always come a point when you're sitting there in the studio and you're like, you hit a brick wall, or this doesn't work, or that doesn't work. Whereas if you've got someone who already knows what they're doing, you know, i.e. like a tutor or lecturer, it speeds things up tenfold, because you can say, I'd actually like this sound to do that, like how can I do that? Because I think when you're an artist or a musician, you always have like an inquisitive brain and you're always wanting to like push the boundaries, or you should be. And so obviously if you sit there watching a YouTube video, you'll get so far, but your mind will be thinking, but what happens if I took that and then I tried it with that? Well, if you're on a course and you're with a tutor, they'll tell you in seconds, you know, you just say, I want to do this, and they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, so, you know, let's try doing this with this. I think it's so important to understand the fundamentals of music. When you're writing, whether you're writing like Dalek techno music and dubtronica music or whatever, it's still so important to have a good theory, you know, a good understanding in chords, scales, you know, like even just to a basic level, just so you can understand and train your ear at the same time when you're learning, so that when you're writing, if you do get these ideas of, I'd like to actually, like, I can hear that bass going like that for 2 minutes, but then let's transpose it to another key, you know, or just take it up an octave or whatever. If you just have a good solid understanding of the basics of music theory, like, that will help you so much, you know. And like I say, training your ear is vital, because it can save you a lot of time as well if you know when something's out of key. If you're collaborating with people, it can only help. You've got to think of it as a whole, you know, like you're not just in the house music world or the reggae world, or, you know, whatever music you do, because the best people collaborate with other people from other genres. So if you can speak through the language of music, you haven't got to be classically trained or anything like that, but if you know what they're on about when they start talking about, you know, let's use this chord progression, or go from here, or how about we play, like, you know, this triad instead of that seventh, or, you know, like, it helps so much. And you just be inquisitive and just want to get that under your belt.